Greetings, screeners and meaners, another Executive Collective Reviews, and today we're going to be checking out Age of Extinction Oversized Hound. This is the fire truck version. That's right, saw this and had to pick this up, and I really like it because I think this is more of a proper size to Hound. Not too happy about his head, but we'll get into that with the reviews. But with that being said, let's go! Okay, screeners and meaners, here he is, Age of Extinction Hound fire truck version, and I must say he's a really cool looking figure. Not that bad for a simple figure, but that's pretty much about it. So let's go ahead and start this off. First up, let's get the measurements. All right, and you can see right now, screeners and meaners, if you guys can see it's coming up on camera. If not, I will tell you how tall he is. He's 11 3/4 of tallness, and yes, he almost is a foot, so you can give that 1/4 inch and go and say that he is. But yeah, so you're gonna pull this out first. There's the ladder. It is probably kind of cool. It says 119 on it, and here it is. This goes on the back of him, clips onto the back or whatever, and really neat. I like how it's stretched out and actually works. It puts me on the oversized version of, I believe it's Red Alert or Chief Fire or whatever they call them and everything. And look, this even has like working cylinders in there. So I have to give that big props to that. So yeah, so it looks like it might have some type of ratchets, a little bit sound, but it's besides the point and everything. And you know, this really, I think it's a nice touch, really cool. Anyways, all right, here's two of the blasters here. And if anybody has the versions of him of the older version of him, Age of Extinction, the Voyagers, you can know what he comes with. And I'm not sure if the leader class come with it or if there was a leader class. I know if I have most of the knockoffs because I was not able to get them when they actually came out. So I did take advantage of actually getting the knockoff versions of them. And as you can see right now, this is still knockoff versions I have of him. All right. So I'm gonna go in here, check the other ones too, and he has like 2 of everything except the ladder. And really cool blasters, very cool blasters, nice hand blasters. And he does have 2 more on his hip. And before anybody else starts to get into anything and ask any questions about it, they do have the gimmick where one can plug into the back, but they don't have the bigger piece that you can kind of connect them all together. So that's a whole nother issue with that. At least I haven't found it, but you do have it where you can, like, you know, put this into there, vice versa to this one here. And that really works out pretty cool. The instruction manuals doesn't say anywhere on it, at least on mine does not, to say anything about them connecting to a bigger blaster, but that's just whatever it is. Anyways, enough of that. Let's go and get this big red machine in here and see what he is about. So I'm gonna put him on a tilt there, bring him in close, back up there. All right, bring this in here, back him up a bit, and just take a look at the top portion of him and his head. And off rip, I'm just gonna go ahead and just say right here, there's a big con for me. Did not like this. Did like the Black Mamba version of the head. This is on a ball joint, so I guess you could switch it if you want. But he doesn't have the cigar or the I think there was a bullet or whatever and stuff. But it's just really nothing going on. Black eyes and just whatever on that and stuff like that. I mean, they did do a little bit more attention to the chest here. There you can see it has 3 different colors coming out of there, and that works. It is from there. It does have the shoulder the missiles, if I'm not mistaken, as well, and stuff like that. And it looks like there might be just 2 different versions of them in that. They don't come off, but you know, I'm pretty sure someone will get into a masterpiece and actually use that to where it works. And stuff still have that on the other arm there, and then you can see him right there in the front, right there in the front on his waist belt buckle, 119, almost like a mind your Stone Cold, you know. So, anyways, on the side here into the back, him coming up, and then that's it. And I must say, for this being is what it is, it kind of holds itself very well. It does have some loose parts, but compared to what I'm going to be using it for, as far as using it for stop motion, I think that they've done a well job on it because it does stand up pretty okay. So I'm not mad at whoever company made these or made this, but I really have to give props to that. No matter what. Anyways, to Articulation. So if you are familiar with this version or mold of him, you can see right now is his foot. He does have the slide where it comes left to right. You gotta be careful you go too far and everything. This is gonna come out. Seem like it's about to break, but this happens where it stops. So that stops his foot right there and try to keep it flat or flush as possible. All right. He does not have any swizzle in the ankle whatsoever. He does have the bend in the knee. You're going to get that far from that. And when it comes up to his waist, he does not have the waist. He does not have it where he can actually bend his, his hips, excuse me. His hips cannot go forward unless you start bumpering to that. You can shave that down, mold the way you want, but it's cheap plastic, I wouldn't do it. But right here in the front, it's shaved kind of quite a bit. So you can get a kick right here. You can get a span count because it is on this hinge. Not a ball joint, but a hinge, and which is all friction here, so you can see that how it comes around. So you can get like a good kick, whatever going on, works and stuff. And you can come out that way, get a good side kick, and that works. Now to the waist area, you do hear a ratchet coming in there, and that works very well. And you do get a bit of an ab crunch. So that's as per transformation, but it's a plus because he can at least look down and there's more possibilities for him as far as in the way moving around. And this is really good friction here. Very good friction how it stands in right there. That's it. Anyways, the arm does come all the way around. And this right here is on a hinge, not a ball joint. It's kind of a two-step hinge going on. And right here is another friction turn right here for the arm. Okay, it turns around, does the same thing over the other side and stuff, and then it has another one that just can on this hard, just kind of comes around. It's really stiff, but it does move. So in case you guys don't, arm does bend. All right, and is that a double hinge? That is a double hinge. So again, you can get some good motion out of there and stuff like that. So I'm really impressed how simple this figure is and it works. All right, so here you have the full twist 360, but due to bumpers and hitting to the certain things, it does not be able to go all the way around. And you do have your basically, well, his boxing gloves, you could say. This does come out. You could take these off right here, and I thought this was a nice touch. I do not remember if the original did that because I have all knockoff versions of Hound, but these do come off, and I thought that was a nice touch on their part right here, and I appreciate that because it is Hound, so that's where it comes from there. Sorry, just had to reset him there. And then you have his head, which is on a ball joint-ish swivel type thing. I don't know. It just kind of fits and a little friction come around there, but it works for me. But his beard does stop it going around, and that's pretty much it how it goes. And that's pretty much how that is from there. So screeners and meaners with that. Finally got that out the way. Come on, stay. Anyways, look. There, good. We're going to get to some size-by-size comparisons right about now. Here you have knockoff CiiC, aka Hexatron, this knockoff version. There you have Parakill. I think that size actually works pretty good since Parakill ends up being so tall. Leader class movie version Optimus Prime, that size does not work, seeing as they were almost the same height in the movie. And here we have Age of Extinction Voyager size knockoff diecast Nemesis Prime, and here you have Age of Extinction Leader Class Prime oversized knockoff, and that fits a lot better than the other ones do. And last but never least, here you have Redensor. This is the Megatron, my favorite Megatron in my honest opinion. I think he's absolutely phenomenal. I don't care who says what about anything. This Megatron is amazing. I love this figure. Oh my god, I can't get enough. Just super cool. Sorry. Anyway, screeners and meaners, let's go and get to human side-by-side creature minicon comparison. Man, he really towers over them. Just really, really towers over them. Just like that. Just like that. And just like that, it is time to get him in his alt mode. Okay, screeners and meters, and here we have it. All transform Hound oversized Age of Extinction fire truck version. Fire Squad 119. Yes, so screeners, here it is. Very, very nice. So already put the blast on there. Right, took the initiative to do that. Just cause. Standing in the back there. Kind of cool. Very flush. And put all the blasts on one side. You could do one on the other side. You want to set it the way you want it. and I just have one to the front, to the side, and it does not have the key element to the other blaster, the triple Gatling gun thing, what that was, but it does have this version, so it's whatever on that. So anyways, just to show you guys right now, these plug ports here, in case you haven't seen the transformation, these plug ports here goes to here on this side, stays in one spot, sorry, the camera there, and just kind of cradles right in there. And before, it wouldn't go in, it would not go in whatsoever, and it seemed like it's doing the same thing now. Maybe it's just something that is on one side or whatever or whatnot, but we're not going to stress this because I want to keep this moving. I just don't want to spend too much time on one thing and not the other. It doesn't seem to be lining up, and I guess that's probably the issue I had before. It just really wasn't lining up to it, and it's kind of annoying. I guess it's like a bad cut or whatever, but for the most part it does fit on the other side. So if you haven't seen these figures or this figure and you want to scoop it up, I would say go and do it. And yeah, so I mean, it's totally up to you how you want to see it and stuff. But yeah, I got this part of a flash sale. So anybody know anything about short toys with the flash sales? You do, the figure is flash sales because either it's return or something that somebody didn't want, or something happened, or something's wrong with it. So it does have a gimmick where this lights up and I guess has sound, but this doesn't work. I've tried changing the batteries out of there. I'm not going to worry about it. I just want to, again, keep it moving, and it's just pretty much about it. So there, the door does not bend. It does roll back and forth very well, exceptionally well for a figure of its size. Like again, it has a plug ports with the blasters and stuff. Mine's could be the way it is. It could be something totally different. I'm not exactly sure. And this does work. Not the best, but I can tell you right now, I appreciate the mere fact that you do have this as a function. It's just it's just very nice. It's cool. It would work with me as far as it goes to stop motion. It feels sturdy. It's not the best, not 100%, but it is what it is from that. So with that being said, screens and meters, just to show it, case to show it, to see what it could be done to stuff. Let's go and get a side-by-side comparison. Let's bring in a Minicon, a Beast, and a human side-by-side comparison. Figures right about now. There you go, screeners and meters. You have somebody in the bucket, then you have the side-by-side comparison to that, and it does fit exceptionally well. Do not think that this figure would fit well with the Diaclone figures, the mini figures of such like so, but this is extremely cool, and this is why I like these oversized, because it kind of just brings in, for as far as I'm looking to do for stop motion and such like so. Oh, almost crushed the figure there. Anyways, yeah, so that really extremely works very well. Just for side note, just to add right now, the bucket does collapse, and that kind of just goes back there, right? Goes back here, and it just sits on the top. So it's again just really cool, just a nice figure to have in my honest opinion. Just want to show that real quick. Okay, screeners and meters. Now it's time to get to the side by side comparison with the other bots. Okay, there is Power Master Optimus Prime. That absolutely does not work whatsoever. None. Zombie Motor Master, I guess that kind of works a little bit. Kind of a weird thing going on there. An incomplete version of Brawl, and that works. That's Leader Class Brawl, and that one actually does work. Alternator Roll Bar, and that works as well too. That works. Yeah, Alternator's Roll Bar, that one works. Deluxe Oversized Crosshairs, and that one does work. Guess you guys can see where we're going at with this, right? And just cause there's the Voyager size or leader size Hound, that's a weird figure because it is a knockoff. You can see it says Spearhead on the side of it, and it's leader class size, but it kind of has limbs of a Voyager. I will do a comparison later. I just want to get the Big Red Machine Hound fire truck version out of the way. So, you know what that means. Screeners and meters, without further ado, you have more to view. So let's see what this Big Red Machine, my nickname for him, can do. Okay, screeners and meaners, hope you guys enjoy that stop motions there. And yes, I'm saving the pros and cons to the end because I'm trying to see if I can save some time, which I probably think I failed at in this vid, but we're going to keep this moving. So pros up first. Pros is, I think the size is absolutely phenomenally great. That's not a word, but it doesn't matter. I think it works better with the masterpieces scaled, with all those, with the ultra magnesis and all those things and stuff. I think that works so much well with this hound. I just do. I think the other ones are kind of tapping on some scales of the hound being great, but again, I like the size of this a whole lot better. Also, it goes well with the minifigures, the C3 construction, Legos and stuff as such and stuff. It goes to stop motions. That's just basically me and what I'm saying on that point. Going up to the cons next, do not like the figure's head sculpt. Think it could have been better. It could have been a better mold. I wouldn't mind if they would have brought in another head sculpt with it, but for the price, you cannot beat it. And I get it. This is like the brittle part and the little cheap plastics, so it works for me for that. So I have to accept it. Still don't like it, but I have to accept it. It's just that. But also the Mishpin portion of the body is just kind of weird. Long arms, skinny legs, kind of stubby feet, and then it just kind of gets lost somewhere in the middle, and then you have all this girth that's here and stuff. So it's whatever. It's almost like Toy World wide load. But hey, listen, again, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, okay? So, screeners and meaners, thanks for the watch so much so. Thank you. Sub me if you love me, share if you care. Do what you do as long as you do well. Gerald Network, and I'm out. Cannot say thank you enough. Later.